One of my favourite films growing up was Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. From its visuals to powers to comedy, it was perfect to me. It perfectly fed my pipsqueak prepubescent brain at the time, and I used to watch it over and over and over. So when I heard that Fantastic Four: First Steps was coming out, my expectations were through the roof. So I went with my friends and I caught it on opening day, and it was good. I was definitely impressed by it, but just how good was it? Stick around to the end of the video for my final score. First off, welcome to the channel. My name is Rowley. I am a black belt waffler, comparative writer, and a bit of a professional overthinker, thanks to my degree and masters in law. I love deep diving into things that we watch, play, and read on a daily basis, and picking apart the details whilst keeping it fun. So if you enjoy thoughtful takes and personality along the way, you're in the right place. So subscribe down below to stick around and join the conversation in the comments so we can enjoy this stuff together, because I'd love to have you around for the journey. So here's the game plan. I'll take you through all my summarized pros and cons of the movie, sharing my thoughts as we go. We'll go back and forth between pros and cons until we've covered them all. Once that's done, I'll plug into my Raoul system, RAOUL, that's ratings accurately optimized using logic, and reveal my final score to you. So with that all being said, let's get into it. Pro number 1. Character chemistry. The Fantastic Four have always been marketed as a family, and this is the first on-screen iteration that truly feels like a family. From the very beginning, with Reed and Susan announcing that they're expecting, to the way that they navigate challenges as a married couple, it all feels really authentic. Franklin's birth in space, or simply sharing a tender, romantic moment, their bond feels so real and earned. The wider team dynamic also shines here. Reed and Ben share a grounded friendship. Johnny and Ben bring a silly brotherly energy. Susan and Johnny's sibling banter and care add another layer to this. And when the whole team comes together, their chemistry brings both humor and a lot of heart. I genuinely enjoyed every single moment that the team interacted between themselves, whether they were happy moments, sad moments, or anything along those lines. It felt really good to see them converse as a family. But there are ways in which they tend to outshine each other, which brings me to our first con of the movie. Con number 1, underwhelming power usage. See, whilst Johnny feels like he's pulling his weight as the Human Torch, and Susan shines in both small and major moments, like her final stand against Galactus, Mr. Fantastic and the Thing feel kind of underused, with their powers not fully showcased. Now, Reed's meant to be the smartest man in the world, and sure, he uses his brain first, which he's brilliant at, but in terms of action, his stretching is barely impressive in the movie. He mostly just reaches for things far away across the room and then pulls them back to himself, or really like short traversal across rooftops and such. Even when Galactus stretches Reed out. Oh wow, okay, I didn't mean it in that way. That sounds a bit sus. Whoa, pause. Let me not lie, that sounds hella sus. Galactus stretches Reed out. Crazy. Not in that way. When Galactus starts pulling Reed apart mid-capture, it doesn't really feel superhuman. He felt more like mildly elastic guy rather than Mr. Fantastic. And I'll be completely honest with you, the way he felt after being stretched out, the whole cinema was laughing. The guy kind of felt like one of those flaily things that sit outside car sales. As for Ben, he talked a big game about wanting to fight a lot, but we rarely see any hands thrown. Aside from teaming up with Johnny to rocket punch Galactus in the face, and also lobbing an oil rig at Galactus too during the fight, most of his scenes mainly are just support work. Things like tearing down buildings, picking up cars, or entertaining kids. You know, for a character known for his brute strength and how indestructible he can be, his action scenes always felt more like background muscle compared to the frontline powerhouse that I was hoping he would be. You know, in a film that leans into strategy and emotion, the lack of real satisfying power moments from these two make the action scenes feel a bit more soft. That said, the film doesn't shy away from building up tension, as shown in pro number 2, brilliant set pieces. See, I firmly believe that a great action scene hits the absolute hardest when it's tied to emotions. And oh my lord, the interstellar black hole-like sequence absolutely nails this. Watching the team ship struggle to get into FTL faster than light speeds, whilst being chased by the Silver Surfer, and Susan's going into labor at the exact same time? That's cinema with a capital C. The stakes are high, the pacing was tight, and everything just landed perfectly. It's not just noise, everything happens for a reason. It's earned intensity. It's actually really well done. One standout moment that really captured this tone was when Reed tells the press, live and deadpan, "We will protect you," right after a galactic mission goes terribly wrong. It's sincere, it's dramatic, and it really sucks you into the movie. The mix of heart, style, and cosmic scale threat makes the film feel distinctive and surprisingly really emotional. It genuinely feels, after they do things like this, that Marvel is starting to get back on track. Like to the early days where every single big moment had an impact and felt like something that would impact the future in an even better way or develop the characters even more. I love this, no complaints there. It was beautifully done. Genuinely, that scene is stuck in my head on repeat. Though this doesn't happen through the whole movie, as it comes across at certain moments really time crunched, leading us to con number 2, uneven pacing. The film is definitely a slow burn. It starts off gently and really takes a while to pull you into the story, but once it does, you're immersed. But then some scenes during the big set pieces drag on a little too long, which disrupts the momentum of the movie overall. And just when things start building towards the climax, the conclusion comes in just a bit too quickly. The wrap-up feels rushed, like certain moments were cut short or skipped entirely. Even though the film already runs for an hour 55 minutes, I feel like an extra 10-15 minutes could have helped give some emotional beats or plot threads the closure that they deserve. You know, if you spend all that time building things up in such a great way, why not just finish it off all nicely? But let's not get that twisted, because this doesn't disturb pro number 3, visuals and cinematography. From sweeping space scenes to Galactus's massive ship and the slick 1960s retro futuristic New York aesthetic, the film nails a specific and distinct visual identity. It's fun, stylish, and while the cinematography isn't flawless, it absolutely shines when it counts, elevating the world building and making it feel like the Fantastic Four sit at the center of the universe. Honestly, this is the sort of multiverse that I've been craving for from Marvel. This felt bigger, bolder, and far more memorable. Superheroes should have their own universes that give them their own threats, their own allies, and such on and so forth. Not just distinguishing a multiverse because in this universe you go at green at the traffic lights, in this universe you go at red at the traffic lights. Giving each universe their own style makes everything nicer, much more memorable, and much more worth your time watching the movie. Though, that being said, as much as I love the visuals overall, not every moment in cinematography hit the mark. Which leads me onto con number 3, inconsistent CGI quality. As much as I appreciated the new film's ambitions, the CGI wasn't always up to par. Coming fresh off something like Superman, where the effects were consistently strong and more natural feeling, the difference here was more noticeable. Now don't get me wrong, as I mentioned before, there are moments where the CGI shines. Galactus, for instance, he looked fantastic. Despite being partially actor-based, the scale and the details of his design actually worked. But then there are other moments. For example, there are a couple scenes where Ben is standing in front of a New York backdrop, and sometimes he looks like a 3D model awkwardly placed onto a 2D backdrop. And I won't lie, as an overthinker, it completely pulled me out of the scene. Likewise, this happened a few times with the Silver Surfer 2 being on camera. And don't even get me started on the shots of the baby at times. The CGI baby barely moved in some scenes. It's like the baby was just there, staring at the camera. Just staring. A little too much staring. Seriously, creepy CGI babies should be their own genre at this point. All in all though, it was definitely like a roller coaster of ups and downs. Really great moments of CGI, a few bad moments that ruined it. So, those are my 6 points, my 3 pros, 3 cons. I will be giving Fantastic Four First Steps a solid 7 out of 10. And honestly, that feels like a small miracle, especially given the mid-tier range of Marvel content that we've got recently. You know, all the wash stuff that Disney's trying to shove down our throats. Had enough of it. Fantastic Four First Steps, good movie, 7 out of 10. It's given me hope again. I'm getting rid of that superhero fatigue that I had before, and I hope Marvel's gonna do something good with that. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below and tell me what you thought of the movie. I genuinely love hearing from you guys, and your thoughts always make my day. Remember, let's always keep the convo going. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll make sure to catch you in the next one. Peace.